Is it true that Tupac wanted to be a part of the Dungeon family or Goodie Mob?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think because, you know, if people are Tupac fans, his earlier narratives were positive, pro-black, revolutionary.
Yep.
And that's what we was on. That's the type of time that we were on. Like, again, when I say we really wanted to make the ancestors proud, you know, the ancestors, the hierarchy of this city, whether that be Mayor, you know, Andrew Jackson, you know, Ralph David Abernathy, Martin Luther King. I mean, like, you know, we were touched, you know what I'm saying, like by the work that they had done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we wanted to honor it, you know, as best we could. So, yeah, he saw that in us. And when he was in jail, I think he just kind of really needed somebody who he felt like he could relate to and could come to it and didn't want nothing from him, but just had love and shelter. I mean, like in family, you know. So, yeah, that's true.
Wow. At the Source Awards, the Source Awards, when Outkast got booed and Dre said, "Man, the South got something to say." What went through your mind? Because this was the first time that Southern rap had arrived.
Yeah.
And from that point on, Southern rap was here to stay. You know, like as you mentioned, L.A. Reid and Babyface, you had seen the Ushers, the TLCs, that R&B style, but now this was Southern rap.
Yes.
And you had a little bit Kilo Ali. You know, you had a little.
The Kilo.
Yeah. But this was the first time on a major stage. This was Southern rap. This was the introduction, the world to see Southern rap. And all of a sudden, this is our first big moment, and then they carrying on like this. What went through your mind?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were there, and of course you don't know if you're going to win or not. We just happened to be there.
Correct.
I don't think we had all gone to New York together before, maybe one other time, because the Outkast did a big listening party for that album release. So all this was in that same relative time. So second time in New York together, nominated for the award. But they were booing. You can't even really tell just how loud, you know, it was. It was a big boo. Like, everybody booed. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I just said this in another interview too, like how I felt then with them giving me shelter and giving me love and giving me family and something to be a part of. I wanted to defend it, you know. So this is before I'm even, I had no gauge on self-worth or being, you know, my asset was to throw myself into harm's way for the family. So that's basically what I was thinking. I wanted to fight, and we almost got to fighting.
Damn.
But not somebody trying to attack us personally.
Right.
It's just that when it was ending, dudes was coming over coming over the aisle, the chairs, just trying to get up to the stage. And somebody was put their hand on my shoulder to balance themselves and jumping over. And I was like, you know, get off me. And he looked back like he wanted, you know what I'm saying, like to fight with me. And then, you know, we almost had a little altercation.
That was the same night when Suge Knight said, if y'all want, you know, go to me, and they don't want somebody y'all in your videos.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg said, hey, East Coast ain't got no love for Death Row. Damn, there's a lot going on that night.
It was tension. But I'm going to tell you, boy, who was the deepest? Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang was the deepest. I know it was 150 of them. Did nobody want no problem with Staten Island that night, for sure. And they felt like the underdogs, and they felt like the outcasts too.
Right.
Like, because, you know, they weren't necessarily being counted.
Yes,
you know,
yes. They'd been in there for a minute, and they hadn't gotten the love and respect that they thought they deserved.
So we kind of hit it off right away, and we became extended family and allies with Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay.
Yeah.
You signed to L.A. Reid LaFace Records with Usher and TLC. I mean, really, Face and L.A., they're kind of like the pioneers, the godfather of putting Atlanta on the map.
That's a fact.
And you with Usher and you with TLC, and you're like, okay. What was it about that LA saw in you that says, you know what, bro, you could be solo. You're gonna have to do this on your own. Because had he heard you sing or just heard you rap? Or had you did anything for him to lead him to believe that, you know what, bro, he can sing R&B, he can sing. And
I'm glad you're asking me this question. L.A. Reid, and I call him Godfather to this day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that he was partial to me. He was partial to us. I think that he may have had some conversation with whomever and someone giving him context about what it was I was, aspiring to do for going forward.
Okay.
But yeah, no, this is his job to be able to pinpoint and identify with, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And he was like, you definitely got something special. And I just think we had something kindred amongst us because we're both Geminis, so and maybe he took a liking to me like that. And then, but L.A. Reid, I got to just also thank him publicly too, because he took great care of me. When my mother passed, they took care of my mother's,
Funeral
arrangements, you know what I'm saying? When I got married, I'm saying, like, they took care of my wedding for me, just on love, So when it was time for me to do my thing, he gave me a Prince deal, a Prince opportunity, the same way that Warner Brothers gave it to him. So people don't really know this, but I wrote and produced my entire first album.
Wow.
So that's Closet Freak and Getting Grown and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know if people really knew that stuff. But yeah. So no, he did something that was, bold and unique and probably it's just a rare occasion of really believing in something wholeheartedly and giving me the opportunity. So I'm always in his debt as well too. Thank him so much.
R&B. What's going on with R&B? You hear a lot of people say R&B dead. And it's not what it used to be. I'm not saying it's dead. It might be on life support, but it's not what it used to be. We don't have CeeLo, we don't have the voices that we once had.
No,
and I don't know if maybe it doesn't sell. I don't know if it's not sexy anymore. I don't know what it is. But when I was growing up, I mean, I grew up with Teddy Pendergrass and I Barry White and, Hathaway and all those guys. So it was a plethora. I mean, we didn't just have one or two. We just didn't have Usher, Chris Brown. We had 15, 20 that you could listen to.
Facts. We were just talking about that in the car on the way over here. And I'm going to admit this publicly. I don't really like R&B. I don't consider myself to be an R&B artist. I don't know what people think of me. I feel like if I classify in any genre, I think I'm an alternative artist.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I have these are the interpretive arts.
Yeah.
I like to say. You know what I mean? So, but maybe I mean it this way. Maybe I don't like what it's become.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But all things could be better if just for balance. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's just it's too much of one thing.
Not enough of another. Not
enough variety. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how I end up trying to do so much, and maybe it's just far reaching as far as my own personal plight or career is concerned. I'm trying to do everything just to represent those voids or fill those voids. So no, but I'm thinking about the OJs and, we did songs like, it was just like, family reunion. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, it's just a song about, it's so nice to see the family come together.
Yeah.
We don't, I mean, everything don't gotta be about.
Even the big bands sung. You look at the OJs, you look at the Ohio Players, you look at Earth, Wind and Fire, you look at the Doobie Brothers, you look at Atlantic Star, you look at all, but they sung, even though they were big band and had fast songs, they slowed it down. And oh my goodness.
I always get the Atlantic Star Midnight Star mixed up.
Yeah, but
Atlantic Star, send for me, right?
Send for me. Put a message in the bottle, baby. I'm just a telephone call away.
Just a telephone call away. Yeah.
That's him. Tavares. I mean,
dun, dun, dun,
yeah. Too late.
Yeah. Heaven
must be missing an angel.
Yeah.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because we like to do something before two something.